it's your thought working with the artists, coming up with these concepts, and then you see a month and a half later, depending on their work schedule, what they have commissions out, this just pops up from the artist directly in your inbox on something like Instagram. Say, hey, I'm done with your piece. Check it out. Boom. And you're like, are you kidding me?
Time, space, collecting. A multiverse of stories shaped by the choices we make. We are your guides across the Marvelverse, exploring everything from the MCU to cards and collectibles. Because every piece we collect tells a story. The question is, what does yours say about you?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome into Across the Marvelverse, episode number 12. Episode 12, once a week. That means I've been doing this for 3 months now. That's pretty cool. Hey, today we got a huge episode planned, and we have my good friend Blake. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother.
Hey, absolutely, man. I am pumped. Blake, good friend of mine. You've been a huge supporter of the show, so thank you for that. But you also have a fantastic collection. And a lot of really cool art. Last week we had Bro Namath on, and he shared a lot of his pieces, and we started diving into that art world. And I thought this would be a great next episode as we continue to dive into that space, because you have a lot of incredible art, and a lot of that you gain through commissions. So we're going to kind of look into that world, see what it's like to commission an artist, and just what the process looks like, how you go about it. And then, of course, we're going to talk about your collector story and your amazing collection.
Sounds good, brother.
But yeah, hey, Blake, before we get into news or anything like that, I want to know about your Marvel story, man. How did you get into Marvel?
So I was collecting Marvel ever since I was like a little kid. So I've been I was an 80s baby. So 80s, 90s was like Marvel Prime, all the shows were coming on TV, and then eventually went to the movies. So it's been a part of my life, my reality for a long time. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
And now, who do you collect?
So I started out with Gwen, but I really liked the Gwenom storyline and, her suit, just the look of her, everything. So I've gone full in on Gwenom. So
That's cool. Was there anything specifically that really drew you into Gwen as a character?
yeah, I just liked the whole script change, scenario change, that whole multiverse storyline. The multiverse storyline was probably, to be honest with you, the third in my opinion. So Infinity Gauntlet's storyline was, again, I grew up 80s, 90s. That drew me in huge. So when the Marvel cinematic universe at the end of that Avengers 1, when I saw Thanos turn around, man, I lost it. Like I was one of those people in the theater going, are they really going to do this? Because you know how big of a story that entailed. And I know it's not one for one with the comics, but that doesn't bother me at all. Just like you said on one of your prior podcasts that you did, like it's an individual tale told by the author or the director, whoever it may be. It's their story, man. So I thought they did an excellent job with it. I know that it didn't go one for one with the books, but again, if you were going to try to go one for one with the books, I just don't see how you could have done it, because essentially it was everybody in Marvel
It's
by the
so
time
hard.
that series was done. And you know how it is with legalities, with rights to characters, all that stuff. It was what they pulled off for that whole MCU run was incredible. The second one was like Unworthy Thor. If you haven't read that series, that's the one where they incorporated Gore the God Butcher, all that stuff, like the first appearance of him. That story was incredible. Really, really, really good comic book run. And then, of course, the Spider-Man run. So I really enjoyed that. So just seeing, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read the comics or anything like that. I just enjoyed the storyline. I've always been a big Spider-Man slash, that character base fan. So yeah, when they did that, and then you started to see all these other Spider-Men, Spider-Women, it was just insane. So I delved right in head first, man.
That's awesome. So, okay, now the Thor movie, where a lot of people were mad about how they did Gore Which one was? I can't even remember. What is that? Love and Thunder. I think that was the one with Gore, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Love
yeah,
and
with
Thunder.
Christian Bale.
Okay, so what did you think about Love and Thunder and Gore in that movie?
So I think they try to take on too much in such a short span. I think they did an injustice to
Yeah.
themselves.
Yep.
They
Yep.
had,
Yep.
yep, they had the potential there, right? Like to almost like what they did with the original MCU movies, man. They should have really guided that into a three-part movie series and then really delved into the gore aspect of it because he is truly one of the very unique characters on the villain side that they could have got that backstory really brought to life and then actually went through the tale.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I figured that would be your answer. I think everybody agrees.
yeah, I think they just try to put too much. You know how it is. They try to put too much into it, man. And again, it comes down to the legals, the paychecks per actor and actress. Like it was a big, they're not just no name people. You got
Right.
Natalie Portman and people as such. So like they're big name people and they demand a nice, decent paycheck.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of variables you got to consider when you're going into it. But it's funny too, though, because I literally last night just read Infinity Gauntlet 6. So I'm back to Silver Surfer now. I started, I think I'm on like Silver Surfer 44. And then I'm going to pop back into, I think the next one's Infinity War. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
going through.
yeah. It's a weave of comics if you're going to read that tale because yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, yeah, all that stuff was great.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the full story, so I'm bouncing around the different books and reading through it. But man, Infinity Gauntlet, that was crazy. It's so different than the MCU too, like you were saying.
It is.
And I really don't know how they would have done it. I mean, even just that scene where they have like every massive villain
Yep.
behind Vanos's like throne or whatever. I was like, wow, there's no way.
Yep.
That's funny. But all right. Well, anyways, hey, I want to dive more into your collection, your story. Before we do have some news to talk about.
The Watchers Report.
Okay, so today on the Watchers Report, we have quite a bit of surprisingly comic book news to talk about. So for video listeners, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to kick it off as we tend to do with MCU news. So I feel like I've talked about this every week for a month now. But Marvel Zombies is now here. So if you did not know, Marvel Zombies is here. Blake, have you had a chance to watch it?
I binge watched the whole thing in one day. Yeah, it was
Dude,
really good.
it's so good. Oh my God. My girl Wanda's
I'm sure
in
you're
there.
excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, and so some of the voice actors were not the actual actors or actresses from the MCU, but some were. And Elizabeth Olsen, she did do Scarlet Witch, and I was like, yes. When she came out in the dinner, oh my gosh, I'm not going to give too much away yet on the show, so we're keeping this very spoiler free. But you got to watch it. It was awesome.
Hey,
The
I have a
characters
question
that
for
come
you
up.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you on that, brother.
Okay.
So they are taking Wanda. This is your girl, right? So
Yep.
you love Scarlet Witch. Do you like the route they're going more with the movie and the animated side of her villain's storyline, or do you like the hero storyline better?
So I prefer the hero storyline, but I think they have a good opportunity to use this to really build her character up and see that like growth and progression of the character in whatever way that the MCU decides to take it. So I'm kind of excited that they're doing it. I know a lot of people are mad at Wanda right now that like the Scarlet Witch storyline. A lot of people don't like it. As long as she's alive, I'm all for it. Now, if they just say she's dead, I'm going to be mad. That would be such a horrible way to end her character, but they're in a position to really develop that character further. And I would be shocked if she's just out of the MCU. I mean, you've got Vision Quest coming out, which they've already said is the trilogy from WandaVision. Like it's going to be the third series from WandaVision to Agatha to now Vision Quest. I'm hoping Vision Quest ties it together and then brings her back in at that point, if not prior. But no, I'm really not that mad about it. I liked it. I've enjoyed the content. Was Multiverse of Madness perfect? No, but I still enjoyed it, and it's still at a core was Wanda. That was Scarlet Witch. Like she's tearing through the multiverse for her two children. Like you can't get more Wanda than that. So I like it. I'm enjoying it. If as long as they keep it going, I'm good with it. If they kill it or just say she's permanently a zombie, I will be super mad. So
Nah, I got you, brother.
that's my take on it. But no, I'm excited. I think they're gonna bring her back. And I mean, even in the zombie movie, what I like about Wanda is she's such an interesting, even villain side, because there's this still, like, they always have this hint of she's still doing what she thinks she needs to do for like her or her family or whatever, right? Like, there is never this like pure, just straight evil side to her. There's always this, okay, well, what's her side of the story, right? As soon as someone texted me and they were like, man, your girl's the big baddie. And I was like, she's just misunderstood, bro. You don't, you don't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, man, Marvel Zombies, that was good. There's characters in there you will never guess are in this show. I mean,
Yeah, it was great.
man, the cameos, oh my gosh, it's so good. I want to talk about it more in another show. I won't spoil anything today because it just came out. But like you said, it's binge worthy. You can sit down, watch the whole thing. It's short. It's 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's really short. Yeah, and you know what though, I like how Disney's going the R-rated. They're going that way when it needs to be done. So things like Deadpool, things like Marvel Zombies, they need to be R-rated. So I'm glad that they're
Yep.
actually taking that leap and they are doing what most Marvel fans want.
And the great news is it worked out because this was ranked number 1 on the U.S. top 10 most watched for the first 3 days.
Yep.
3 days that this released. So clearly it panned out. And from the reports I'm hearing, it exceeded all of Marvel's expectations. So that's a huge win. And I would expect, I mean, they have not come out and straight said it or verified it, but I'd expect we'll get season 2 of this show.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it did leave off on a cliffhanger. Without spoiling anything, do you think, how do I say this without a spoiler? Do you think that what you could say the visions that she was seeing were true? Or do you think that was her like just slipping back in because her mind's just screwed up from the event? Or do you think that was real?
No, I think it was real and it's lining up.
Okay.
I think we're lining up for the second.
I hope it's real because that would be nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope it's not just a like she's kind of losing like her mind type of deal. I hope that was real. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay. Other MCU news, reportedly Deadpool and X-Men is in the work. So that's pretty sweet. I have no other details to share other than that's what's been reported and rumored to be happening. So that would be super cool. More R-rated stuff, I would assume.
Yeah.
And then I just threw this picture and I didn't know what to throw in for this, but there was an untitled movie set for July of 2027 that was set to happen, I believe, after Doomsday, but before the next big film. That has been canceled. We didn't know what it was going to be, but it's been canceled. So if you were excited about the untitled movie that no one knew anything about, I'm sorry to report that it has been canceled.
Yeah.
That's it for MCU news. There was no cards or collectible news that I could really find this week. It was a little tame. I think now that Magic has come out with their new set, Kakao came out with a set, Topps came out with a set, I think we'll probably see a slowdown for just a little bit until whoever decides to start releasing things next. But we do have comic book news. So we have Amazing Spider-Man number 13 has come out, and this will have the first appearance of 3 new characters. Well, I don't know if they're technically new, but Wretched, Symbi, and Nile has first appearance for them. And some cool art. Look at this one. You've got like a Muppets themed art here. Awesome. So Muppets 70 years. That's pretty cool. I collected all of the Disney anniversary comics that did the black and white variants. So pretty cool. They're keeping that going with Muppets. It's pretty neat. But yeah, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, might be a good one to check out. We've also got Spider-Man Noir, however you say it.
Noir. Yep,
Noir. There we go. Number 1. So anytime we got a number 1, I always share that on the show. This is going to be a 5-issue limited series, and this has a possible first cameo of Hardboil. I don't know anything about this series, but possible first cameo of Hardboil. So I really like that art, though. That's crazy looking.
Oh, yeah.
One of the arts is just him pointing a gun at the screen, and you've got the big Spidey logo behind him. It looks really neat. Okay, next comic is Spirits of Violence. Shout out to our friend William. I'd assume he will be picking this up. He's a massive Ghost Rider fan. But this is going to be the first appearance of the Spirits of Violence and the first team appearance of the Decade. And man, we got some great art. There's a Peach one here. I just always love seeing Peach's art. I don't know how you could not like looking at it. It's so good.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
So good. I would say that's probably my favorite cover of all of these. Like the skull's cool. Like that's really a good like piece of art, but it's just a big skull. like the peach. I don't know, man. I would be really drawn to that cover.
Yeah, she got her start in anime horror art, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'm a big anime fan, so it checks out that I would like her stuff. All right, we got Venom 250 is coming out. This is going to have the first appearance of the Cult of the Void. We'll check out some of these variant covers they got going on. I actually really like this first variant cover here. You've got this kind of side angle of Venom just crouched down, looking down, and he's holding Spidey's mask in his hand. It's super dark and like this rainy background. Really cool. If you have not checked that out and are a Venom fan, you need to. But yeah, some cool. We have a bunch of different variants for this cover. We've got this weird Mutants one, or I'm sorry, Muppets one. And
Yeah,
Venom's
that's a
just like,
throwback.
yeah, look at that, man. That's
Yeah.
funny. So Muppets pop up again. All right, moving to the next one. Sorry, we have a ton of comics today, guys. I'm trying to go through them at a good pace, but there's a lot of comic book news. I thought this one was really cool. White Tiger Reborn #1. This possibly is going to resurrect Hector Ayala. So I thought that's really neat. Just a few different variant covers here. I think this one's pretty cool. How it's just like this kind of mock-up layout comic where you've got the pencils from kind of all these old school characters on there. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to X-Men Age of Revelation, Overture #1. I wanted to take a second on this one. This is going to begin the Age of Revelation story arc, so a brand new story arc for X-Men that will be told through 16 titles. The event takes the Marvel Universe 10 years into the future, where the Revelation territories, a new mutant utopia ruled by the heir of Apocalypse, threatens an Earth ravaged and transformed by the mysterious X-Virus. So, brand new X-Men arc. I think that's really cool. Look at this beautiful Psylocke, dude.
I know, man. Beautiful piece.
Wow. That's crazy looking, man. You've got just this Psylocke turned around looking back at you holding her sword in a forest. It's just nuts looking.
That looks like an art germ cover.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's Art Germ. His art's very identifiable. I would be
Yeah.
pretty surprised if it wasn't. But yeah, some cool art here. We got a Juggernaut, pretty neat. Got a little Wolfie action going on. But yeah, I think that that takes the cake. That art Germ.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be the chase for sure. Okay, we've made it to the last comic, X-Men: The Undertow #1. It's just the #1, so I wanted to share it. I don't even see any variants for this. But yeah, if you're really into X-Men, I'd assume this is a really good week for you. I see Magic there on the cover, so we got Juggernaut behind her. So some big characters in that. Moving on to gaming news, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. The demo has dropped. If you are into like 2D side scroller beat 'em up games, this is definitely for you. The sprites look really good. I'd assume Annihilus is the big bad guy. You can see him here. And what's interesting too is in this little promotional whatever for the game, if you notice, everything's pixelated except Annihilus. So I'd assume Annihilus is playing some game and like the story is that he put them into this world or whatever, transformed them into these like 2D characters and they're trying to fight their way out. Just speculation, but that's what I'm getting out of this picture. But my buddy played it. He said it's fantastic. I haven't downloaded it yet. I intend to do that when I have some free time. But yeah, if you're into gaming and you like those 2D games, I would definitely check this out.
Awesome.
Going to Perna Studios news. If you've been watching the show the past month, you know I'm a big Perna Studios fan, and we've been just going over the new drops of art that they've been releasing. Halloween 6 is officially available for purchase. I don't know if it's sold out yet or not, but you may still have time. If you're listening to this and you want to pick up the set, I would not wait. If you go to the Perna Studios Facebook page and or their Facebook group, there is an email. You just email them with your order details and they have the format that you need to use in the email, the subject line, all that stuff. So definitely, if you are interested, you can get some phenomenal art. I mean, literally, I think the packs start at like $41 and then the complete sets, it's only like $6 or $7 more. But both of them, you're guaranteed a sketch card.
Yeah, you can't beat it, man. You can't beat it.
A
And they
$40
have-
sketch. Like what?
Yeah, and they have well-known artists that are on those sets too that have done multitude of DC, Marvel, various different sets too. So
I promise you, there at some point, some of your favorite artists have done work for Perna Studios, and they're probably on this set too. Here you've got some great art from Ulysses Gabriel Pedroso, and just the detail on these sketches, man, for the price you're paying is just phenomenal. You've got Alex Magno. I mean, dude, look at these portraits. That witch is just stunning. The zombie, uh, the art's just so good in these things. You've got Kristen Herndon, another great one.
Yep.
Really like this one actually is like one of my favorites. You've got this like little kid witch and she's looking up and there's a ghost of a boy hovering over her backwards. It's just stupid good. This one's crazy too. You've got this headless maiden and all these skulls behind her. It's just so cool. And then the man himself, Tony Perna, did 3 sketches for the set. So you got some Perna art that's just fantastic. As usual, his backgrounds are immaculate.
Yep. He's fantastic, man.
I'll give my best try at this. I couldn't even get to the end. Oh my gosh. Triantafila Vasu. That's my best shot. Really good art though. Check out this one at the bottom too. You've got this like Slender Man looking pumpkin head guy. Just hounding over these 2 kids in a cornfield. Really cool stuff. He also released a bunch of the base art. We won't go through it, but I mean, this is a base card in the set. The base art is phenomenal. And what's really cool is if you enjoy the base cards, you can reach out to the artist. And if it's physical art, you can, inquire about purchasing the actual art from the set. I think one of our friends may have already picked one up. So that's really cool too. But anyways, if that hasn't sold you, I don't know what will. If you're into art, I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. I put in my order for 4 sets. There are some shipping delays from Canada right now. That is where they're based out of. So just as a FYI, unfortunately, it doesn't look like these will get here by Halloween, but they can't control that. It's just Canada Post has been atrocious for the past year or so. So
yeah, they're on strike again.
Yep, it sucks. But I told him, I was like, I'll wait however long I need to. Like, I don't care. It's fine. Whenever you can ship them, just ship them. So last piece of news I want to go over today is just OAX news. There are some new artists that came out and put out commissions, as well as some that still have some available that I'm surprised about. One of them being Simone Bianchi. Still has commissions up there. I'm surprised that they're still available. And he has a really cool $350 sketch card tier where it is just pencils, but you can still get an original piece by Bianchi. So if you're a huge Bianchi fan, like Brandon last week, obviously he was a huge fan of his work. That's a really good price point just to have something original by him. So that was pretty cool. They did that. Sean Crystal also dropped yesterday. And if you know him on Instagram, he goes by the tag of Ink Pulp. Phenomenal art, great comic book artist. He has commissions available. He has this new painting style that he was showing off on the Comic Art Fans live stream. It looks really cool. And that's all he's doing for OAX. I think his price point for that is $750, but you do get an original painted piece. And it is a little bit larger. I can't remember the size. It might be like 5x7 maybe, or 6x8. I think it might be 6x8.
Nice. You know, hats off to Kazra and his team, man. They're really doing justice for these guys. I mean, and to the fans, right? Like, this is an incredible show that they put together. So hats off to him and his team for doing everything here.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job. They should write a book on how to write a proper convention for a hobby, because they know how to do it. Simone DeMeo. And actually, I'm happy to report I did get in for a Simone DeMeo commission.
Nice. Congratulations, brother.
So really excited for that. I'm a huge fan of his work. And one of my goals is to have something from an artist that has worked on a key issue or a solo run of Scarlet Witch. So he did a variant cover for the most recent Scarlet Witch and Vision run. So I was even more excited after already being a fan. Now he's also worked on my main character. So I was like, yeah, no brainer. So really excited. It looks like he still has some things available, but he's almost out. I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else to mention that I haven't talked about on the show yet. I think I've mentioned Roy Mercado, but he has an incredible entry point for sketch cards. I think they're $75, and he does fantastic work in Marvel Comics. I mean, a Marvel comic book artist, $75 to have an original piece from them is just crazy to me. Especially if you're a fan of Phoenix. He's done a lot of work on the modern Phoenix books. Bart Sears as well. His entry point for the sketch cards start at $50. And just another phenomenal comic book artist. I've picked up commissions from both of them. Assad is also on here. He has plenty of availability, it looks like, left. Von Randall's almost gone. They did announce Yuko. I was really bummed. I have spent too much and could not afford to get in on Yuko by the time they revealed him. If his commissions stay available for another couple months, we'll see. But I'm a huge fan of his work. I have a few of his sketches from Marvel sets. Love his stuff, so I would definitely jump at that. And yeah, I think that's all the new folks. I don't think I've missed anybody else. But yeah, man, OX is going to be a blast. If you are on the fence, I'd encourage you to go. It's going to be so much fun. So many great people. It's the event. It's the event every year to go to if you're into this stuff and like going to conventions. But that said, I do want to get into some pickups. So we're going to change gears and talk about what we've got.
The Collector's Hall.
All right. So, Blake, do you have anything you want to share? New pickups?
Absolutely. I've picked up a bunch of things over the past couple of weeks, so I'll try to flip my phone here so you guys can see.
For some reason, I'm not surprised. Every
Yeah.
time I talk to Blake, he's like, "Yep, got a new commission in the mail."
So first one is Magic the Gathering came out with their Spider-Man set, and
good.
Gwen, this is like her actual first card. There is one inside of the Marvel sets. It was just a face shot on a 1 of 10, almost like a comic cut variant. But this is like her true card,
That's awesome.
solo card. So Gwen and Remorseless. This is the full art foil.
Dude, I love those
And of
cards.
course-
I really enjoy them. Magic, I think,
And
knocked
then
it out of the
this is-
park. Oh, there's more Magic. Okay,
They-
here we go.
Yeah, they absolutely did. So this is the promo card. There's a little foil stamp here in the corner.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it in the camera there so you can see it.
Yep.
And then I got the full art card. And then there's a stamped version or a signature version.
You wasted no time, sir.
Yeah, so this is this is the stamped version right here. And then I've been in talks with the artist that did this. Unfortunately, it was digital.
Who's the artist?
Because this piece is phenomenal. I don't want to mess up his name here, but it goes by Lordigan.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep.
yeah.
I believe he does a lot of Magic art.
Yeah, he does. He's been on multiple sets, and currently I'm lined up to get all the cards. He's getting cards himself, and they're going to be signed by the artist, and he's going to shoot those my way since the original sets weren't available for the original art.
Super cool, dude.
Yep. And then I've been collecting, as you said, the Kakawao set.
Okay, nice.
So this is an out of 25. Gwen.
That's
Gwenum,
awesome.
of course, she's very rare on any set, but this is the out of 25. And then the reason why I'm showing these is this is the recent pickup. This is an out of 10, and this was actually
Wow.
given to me.
What?
Yeah, So it goes by his Instagram name is Karasu Tengu.
Yes. Oh my
he was
gosh.
on a recent
Love
podcast.
him.
Yep. So he chimed in, was like, "Hey man, I heard you've been collecting that Gwen set," and he goes, "I got one. I'll shoot it to you." And I was like, "You sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, man," and sent it my way.
What a
So an
freaking
out of
good guy,
10.
man. Oh my gosh. That is awesome.
Yeah, and then that goes with the rest of these. So I have out of 25, and it just goes on. It's all the colors, the different variances. So
Very cool.
started that.
That out of 10 looks really good for her too.
It really does. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. They did a good job with the gold on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really
And
nice.
then of course, art wise, I don't have the most recent pickups from the card and the 8x10 that I got from Veronica that I have on my Instagram. But that's stuck kind of the strike right now. That's why I knew about the Canadian strike. So that's kind of stagnant. She's going to try to ship it out for me at the earliest. But Yuriko, who I've had commissioned in the past,
Bro.
Eureka Shiru. So this is the first one I ever had commissioned of her by her. And this is Gwen.
If y'all don't know Eureka, actually, Blake, you introduced me to her. I was not super familiar with her work until you. And oh my gosh, she's now very high on my list to get a commission from. Look at that.
Yeah. So yeah, she resides out of Mexico. Phenomenal artist, pleasure to work with. The detail on these things is insane, man. And she is one of my top favorite artists. I plan on eventually getting a larger piece from her. So that was the first one of the recent pickups, and this was the second one.
Wow. For those listening, she has this like really cool, almost grayscale with just hints of color, is like the best way I could explain it. Like this very dark kind of look, almost haunted look to her cards. And she just does, it's so unique. Like if you see her art, she's one of those artists that like, oh yeah, that's obviously her. Um,
Yep,
it's
you
just
know her
so
right
good.
away. Yep.
Yeah, there's no second guessing it. It's so good.
And these are all PSEs. To me, I'm more. So you we're talking about collector standpoint. I'm more on the collector of the artist. It doesn't matter what medium they put it on. I'm not just solely a sketch card collector. I just collect art. But sketch cards, what's so fantastic about sketch cards is if you can't afford a large piece, a lot of these artists are now going to these sketch cards at a reduced amount
Yeah.
for each piece, and they're phenomenal. You can't beat it, and you can actually hold on to a piece from your favorite artist, like a Simone large would be bankrupt some people, right? Because he is such a well-known artist, Simone Bianchi. Then you can get, like you said, you can go to OAX, you can get a $350 pencil from him, and you can actually own yourself an original Simone piece.
Right.
And when people talk about OA, there's different categories of OA. So there's published OA and there's unpublished OA, with commission work and things like preliminary art where it not necessarily got picked up for a set or a published piece, but it is a variance of what they were working on to come out with that piece that you've seen, that is in a release set or a published piece. So again, if you the cool thing about commissioning artists that I love to do is like this piece right here and all these pieces I'm showing you on my commission pieces is you create a beautiful piece of your favorite character. And for me, unfortunately, Gwenum, like I told you before, this is her first true card in Magic the Gathering,
Right.
and
So there
she's
just
not
isn't much
on.
for you to chase, just
There's
generally
not,
speaking.
and she's very rare. So I said, you know what? That why chase when I can create?
Love it.
So that's the standpoint from my collecting side that I went and I like to support the artists directly because they're doing all the work. So why not support them directly?
Love it, dude. Love it. 100% agree. That's so cool.
So those are my recent pickups, brother.
Nice, man. Okay, that's some great stuff. I will not live up to that. I don't know. I don't think I even have. This is so. I don't even think I have a piece of art to share that's new, but I do have some stuff to share. I also picked up some Magic the Gathering. Obviously, my character that I mainly collect is not in it, so I wasn't like super keen to go crazy on it. But I love Dan DeSantos, and he did the scene box. So I did pick up the scene box set. If you can see this here, my favorite card is probably what most people's favorite card are that he did, which is the Spidey. So we got the Spider-Man. But if you haven't seen the scene box, these all go together. There's 6 cards. They all go together to make the full painting that Dan did for this set. I'm actually going to be posting that on Instagram today. I spent entirely too much time trying to get good photos. But I'm not fully satisfied with them, but they're good enough to share at least. So if you're interested to see what they look like together, check out the Instagram later today. I want to give a big shout out to, and it's funny, I don't even know their name. There's so many people, I just know them by their handles. But Sweetie Shimmer from Spidey Hits Discord had reached out to me because I posted some of my extra Cockawile Scarlet Witch cards, and their daughter collects Scarlet Witch. I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, yeah, you can just have whatever. So got a bunch of cards, sent them over to her, and she had this card, and I was like, that's great. So she traded me this Nahuel Grego Marvel Masterpieces 2024 out of 49 Quicksilver, and I tried to load up her daughter with a bunch of just random Scarlet Witch cards I had laying around extra. And then I told her I was sending some extra things. So then she sent me extras too of just like different cards. Like this is actually one of my favorite Scarlet Witch cards. It's I'm trying to make sure I'm holding it the right way. There we go. But yeah, it's Scarlet Witch holding Quicksilver from Marvel Flair. This is the Flareum insert, and it's just so good. It's a Bianchi piece. Ironically, the original art is for sale right now that I will never afford.
The carrot has been hung, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're asking 7,500 for it, and I was like, oh, I want it so bad. It's so good.
So that's the example, right there. So 7,500, where somebody like you desires a piece from Simone Bianchi, and you're
350.
like, hey man, that's out of my price range. 350.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. But I will say, I can't say I didn't think about it and try to see how gracious they would be with payment plans. But
I
I'm
hear you
staying
on
away.
that.
I'm staying away. But yeah, and they also include, I'm not going to show all of them, but they included some also really cool Quicksilver cards. Because she was like, well, are you into? I said, any Maximoff. I'm good. I like all the Maximoff. So anyway, shout out to them. And our community is just so cool, man. My other friend Jake knew I was collecting the Rivals set. So he sent me some Rivals cards that I need for the collection. And I'm collecting the refractors. The refractors are the ones that are silver with the little lightning bolt in the background. And I'm trying to complete the set of those. So huge shout out to Jake. Jake, I got to send something to you, by the way. It's not in the mail yet, but I'm working on something for you, buddy. But thank you. Okay, moving on to the next card. This is a Wolverine I picked up from the Fleer X-Men Fox set. I think it's from 95, maybe? But yeah, really excited to get this. I just found this card existed. Shout out to William and Kang, who helped me find just even that this set was a thing. I had never looked at it before. I'm going to save the reason why I picked this up for a later date, but I do have a goal to get this in mint condition. So if you by chance have this card, let me know. Sadly, I don't think this one would be mint. It's honestly better than I expected. I think it would probably get like an 8 or 9 if I graded it. But I'm trying to find a perfect condition copy of this card. So if you do have the Wolverine from that set, hit me up. I will gladly pay above what market is for it just to get it in mint condition so I don't have to start ripping boxes to find one. I do have a comic cut. So this is from Avengers 92. Nothing too crazy, but we got a little Vision and Quicksilver here. And I liked it because the text bubble says, or like a Vision. And they're looking up at Vision. So
Awesome.
yep, cool little comic cut for the collection. I have some bigger cards now. We got the out of 60 double gold Cockawell Scarlet Witch. So these are neat because they have both arts of Scarlet on the card. So both sides of the card are a card, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But yeah, they knocked these golds out of the park, man. They look so good. And I was happy to finally find one for a reasonable price, so I scooped it up.
Yeah,
Two
the
left.
Cockawell sets are awesome, man. They're awesome.
Dude, yeah, just the value. I mean, I can't remember what I paid for this. Probably like $40, maybe, for an out of 60 and just a beautiful card. So I'm telling you, if you have not at least checked out Cockawell yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay, I've been chasing this card for a little while now. Finally picked up a Ruby Medallion Scarlet Witch from Matriarchs. So
Awesome.
if you've seen my show I did on Graydon's channel, I showcase my Scarlet Witch binder, and I have a page of all of my PMGs and medallions, and they're all the color match. They're all red or ruby, and I have 2 spots I still need to fill. So now I'm down to 1 spot that I need to fill, and then I'll be happy with that page in the binder. So was super pumped to finally get one of those. I actually was in an auction for one of these, and I lost the auction by $1. And there's only one left on the market, and they don't pop up often, so I just bought the one at a price a little higher than I wanted to. But I was like, I'm going to wait, and then people are going to ask even crazier prices. I'm just going to take it while it's there.
Yep.
Okay, last one, and then I can shut up. This is my biggest pickup. I was not expecting to get this card right now, but it is the out of 15 Preserved in Amber MM22 Scarlet Witch.
Awesome, brother.
So excited to have this. I am almost done my Scarlet Witch Rainbow from Masterpieces 2022. It's been going on now, almost a year that I've been trying to get the full rainbow, and I'm close, man. I missed the Emerald that went up in the Facebook group this week. Multiple people told me about it, and I still missed out on it, mainly because I'm an idiot. I saw it, and If y'all have noticed, I have not posted much online this week. Usually I post like a bunch of reels and stuff. I've just been super busy with work, and people kept sending it to me, and I saw it and I was like, cool, yeah, Masterpiece of Scarlet Witch. And I don't know why. It was just one of those things, man. I've been so preoccupied. I like just wasn't focused. And I was like, I probably have it, whatever. I was like, wait, that's the Emerald out of 25. And then I was like, no, I might have it because I have the Vision out of 25. So I got mixed up of which one I needed because I'm chasing rainbows for Vision and Scarlet. And then I realized when my friend Maddie sent it to me, and I was like, wait, I don't think I have that card. So I went over to my binder and I was like, no, I don't. I need it. And I swear to you, from the time that I walked into my room to look at my binder to the time I went back to my phone, it was marked as sold.
That's how it always happens, brother. That's how it always happens.
I was like, and it was a good price too. It sold for $100, and
Yeah, you can't beat that.
No, most people want like $250 to $350 for that card. But the market's been down. He had kept lowering the price, and yeah, I missed out. But hey, that's just the way it goes. And it's out of 25. Eventually, at some point in time, someone will post it again. And when the time's right, I will get it. So not trying to sweat it too much, but it was a bummer. It was a bummer. Okay, that's it for pickups. I want to talk more about your collection, so I want to dive into today's focus.
Today's focus.
All right, so Blake, we know you collect Gwenum. Can you just share a little bit more about all the different things that you collect and how you collect them?
Yeah, so I do. So if I'm going to collect a comic book now, I like to read the stories online, right? Like most people have the apps and things like that where
Yep.
you could buy the comic online and you do it that way. But if I see a cover that like actually like grabs me, like Peach Momoko cover, stuff like that, I'll dive in on it. And again, it would have to be like Gwenum for the collector side, because you gotta limit yourself as a collector, or things can get out of hand quickly. Do I still collect some Gwen things? I still do. Again, I like to show, and I have like the storyline in my head of collecting with certain people, and I gave that example. I was on Woolly Claws Out podcast the other day. I showed them the Veronica O'Connell set that I had,
Yep.
that I still do have. But it's like a transition from when Gwen is just Gwen, and then the slow progression of getting absorbed by the symbiote. And see, things like that, when you commission an artist, you're able to do those things. Now, it's not free; it costs money. So obviously, like, pace yourself. That's if you could take anything from me that I could possibly give to you, pace yourself, be patient, never rush an artist, especially when you're commissioning, because if you rush an artist, you're going to get a mediocre piece when they could provide you with something that drew you to the artist to begin with. And I'll just touch on that a little bit. So how I went about seeking out artists for my sets is
Yeah.
I would look at the Marvel actual published pieces, find a sketch artist, because that's where I started out with sketch art from the sketch cards. And I would say, oh man, I really like their style. I personally kind of lean more towards the realism side of things. I really like realistic work, more so than the your standard comic book normal look. You can see that with the Eureka pieces that I had. I did both, right? I did the first commission was kind of like that Tim Burton esque style that she traditionally has with her sketch cards that she does, and then the second pieces was more along the lines of going that she does a lot of like doll cards, that doll horror look that she does, and yeah, I went more towards that route with the second one. But she did a recently, like Eureka, for instance, she did it was like a doll. Trying to think of the Tim Burton movie where they were like all little doll pieces and they were like sewn up and everything. And
I
she's
know what you're
showing that
talking
like,
about. Yeah.
yeah, I can't think of the name of
I
the
can't
title right
either.
now, but she has a piece that she just did where it has like Gwen kind of like leaning up against the wall, kind of broken, and she's pulling on her arm like with the string. It's so good, man. So that stuff, you look at the artists that you like, their unique styles. And another big person that I collect is Veronica O'Connell. And she drew me in off the realism stuff from her original Marvel set. She's been in the Marvel sketch card game for a long time. So she has, if you look her up on Instagram or online on like any search engine, you'll see a ton of cards from Veronica O'Connell because she's been in the game for a long time.
What drew you into Veronica?
Just that realism aspect of things. Like if you look at her cards, and I'll show you. let's just flip it, right?
There we go.
So yeah, here we go. So let me get her cards. I have to find the stack. Here you go. So this was the first one that I commissioned from her.
Oh yeah, that piece, dude.
Yeah, so this is the Gwen, and you look at this and you
Looks like a
go, "Wait,
photograph
that."
of Gwen. Like it looks
Yeah,
like a straight portrait shot. I mean, it's crazy.
exactly. You're like, "Wait, that's a card?"
Right.
And so this was the first one I asked of her, and then I got 2 at once. So I wanted the standard, shot of her, and this is more like that portrait, like you said. And then the second one I got at the same time, this is more like an action shot.
That's awesome. I love that.
But if you look at it, it looks printed, like, she is
Oh
that
yeah.
good. It's
Oh, it's top
insane.
class
So
work.
then
It's so good.
af after that, I was like, "You know what? I need to kinda go towards that Gwenum because that's where I'm gonna focus my attention to." So this was, the next piece where I decided to go into that transformation
It's so
symbiote.
cool. I love the background, the moon behind her, and I'm really big on backgrounds on pieces. I don't know why they just get me when I see a good background. That's
So, like,
awesome.
so again, sketch cards, but then this is where I started to dive into,
Oh
larger
boy.
pieces with her.
Here we go.
So this card goes with, I don't even know if I can even get it in.
Wow.
Oh, let me see if I can flip. Can you see it better
Wow.
this way?
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah, you
better.
can see it a little better now.
Yeah, so this is a little bit bigger than an 8 by 10,
Wow.
and it goes really good with the card because this is like almost like a one for one with the moon background and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you've got
So,
for people listening, just the detail on these things, man. This is a good time to write down the the minute we're at and pop over to YouTube at some point to see these pieces of art that Blake's showing off. I mean, that was just nuts. And then this one, the lighting, man, from behind is just wow.
yep, so this is like the stage where she's starting to get, sick from it and taken over by the symbiote. So this is
Wow.
like the next phase, and then it's starting to take over.
This is
So,
such a cool story. And I love this because I mean, and this is something that I have not fully thought out yet that I think I need to be more intentional about. When you're commissioning artists, you have this like grand vision in mind. And it's the commissions that allow you to bring those visions to life, right? This is so cool.
yep, and with you can do it because you have all the different variances of Scarlet Witch,
Right. Yes.
and this
Genius.
is and this is her take of like the symbiote, like the right when it's getting absorbed, like
Okay.
as it infected her, like truly infected her, and then the full takeover here.
Oh
So
man, that's sick.
yeah, so it's definitely cool, and all these are done on her personal sketch card stock.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I do have one more. This is the next 8 by 10 by her, and if you see in my Instagram, everybody like this is everybody's favorite piece on it. So let me see if I get this in better for you.
Wow. That is really cool. That
So
is
I
just
asked.
phenomenal.
So what's also cool is right, you come up with these concepts with the actual artist. Let me stand this up. So this piece here, and again, I'll flip it again. This one, when you can get with the artist and you can discuss the concept and you come up with that image, it's your thought working with the artist coming up with these concepts, and then you see, a month and a half later, depending on their work schedule, what they have commissions out, this just pops up from the artist directly in your inbox on something like Instagram. Say, hey, I'm done with your piece, check it out, boom. And you're like, are you kidding me, right? Because they bring what you were kind of thinking in your head to light in their style, and it's just
So what did
phenomenal.
you tell her for this piece specifically? Like what was that conversation like?
Yeah, so I just said, hey, Veronica, I was like, I kind of thought of a concept of, Gwenum being in that half taken over stage where you could still see her face. And what I really like with Veronica, again, like you said, the lighting, you can see all here with the lighting in the background. I want to see the emotion and her face. I don't want it just to be the suit. So she was like, okay. And I was like, kind of looking over like a flower or holding a flower with, the tear going down her eye, and you can see the tear. And she knocked it out of the park.
Too cool, man.
And what I really love too is like if you look at the back, you can see like all the inking,
Yep, yep, yep.
everything on the piece, and you get the time, like the date of when it happened, and with the artist. So it's just awesome. And I'm going to be framing so the third 8x10 that I got. It's on my Instagram again with the Canadian Post strike is kind of in limbo. It'll get here, and with I have another sketch card that I commissioned from Veronica. But all that's going to be en route as soon as that strike is lifted, and or she can go with another alternate shipping company. So
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that is so cool. I'm so happy you showed that off because I think that gives everyone like a really good visual of what you can accomplish. Just like one example of
yeah.
what you can accomplish with these commissions and with some of these phenomenal artists. And how did you originally reach out to Veronica?
So I reach out through all the so this one here is like a Pepe Valencia piece. So Veronica, Eureka Shiru, Pepe Valencia, all these artists that I commissioned, I've go through their page, so like their Instagram page, and sometimes I'll work it. So Eureka, I actually got connected with through Spidey Hits Justin.
Okay.
So Justin hit me up and connected me with Eureka when he was actually commissioning his magic piece because I really loved her art. And then so he kind of got me through the network to get to her. And then since then, once you build that rapport and that relationship one on one with these artists, and you gain their trust, they know you're legit as a customer. You can work things out. They'll bump you on lists, things like that. If you've dealt with them in the past. With Pepe Valencia here, he is last podcast when I was on with Wolvie. I don't know why I said he was an Italian artist. He's actually a Spanish artist um, overseas. So I apologize on that. But I actually worked with Pepe. He never worked with sketch cards, and he does large formatting for his original art pieces. And working with him, which is kind of unique on this, he went to sketch cards. Like I introduced sketch cards to him as an artist. Like it
Oh,
wasn't even
really?
on
That's
his
so funny.
yeah, what wasn't on his realm at all for as like an option or a thing for him. He was like, "Oh, I've never even thought about that." So I worked with him. He actually has his own PSC stock now, but this was actually a piece that he did. He did 10 cards before he got his PSC stock in that he did for a Topps submittal for his acceptance into becoming a Topps published Marvel
Oh,
artist.
dude, that's awesome. That
Yeah,
is
so
so cool.
this is the Gwen that he did for the submission. And speaking with him directly, I did say, hey, I know he knows that I was a Gwenum collector. I said, but
Yeah.
Gwen is going to be if you're trying to get on with Tops, I would recommend you do Gwen instead of Gwenum because obviously
Sure.
she's more of
Sure.
the published aspect
Yeah.
of direct representation of her. So he did the Gwen piece, and he did two of them. He did this one, he did another one, and my buddy got the other one, and I got this one. Um, so yeah, I was super
Wow.
thrilled to be able to get this.
Yeah, that's and just man, like the scaling and the way he has her framed in the shot with the city behind her. I mean, it's perfect.
Yep, and it's so detailed. His detail it's unmatched, man. I mean, I'm just being real. Like he is very intricate in his artwork.
Yeah, you can
And I
tell.
think he is in my opinion, Pepe Valencia is a masterpiece, like masterclass level artist.
Yeah,
And I am a huge collector now of Pepe Valencia. So,
that's so cool. That's so cool.
and I'll show you that. But I don't want to just go off of just like just sketch artists. We have people inside the community too, which do sketch art.
Sure.
And yeah, this one was Still Motion. Did this one.
Okay. Really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he did this. I wanted to support him, so he knocked this
No
card
kidding.
out,
Shout
and I
out to
was like,
Still
"Hey, man,
Motion, man.
he did a really good job." If you're in the community, I'll always love to give a shout out to the community members. And then I won that sketch card giveaway, and this is done by a multitude of people. I don't want to get anybody's names wrong, so I'm just going to show them off. So they all each did an individual piece. Um, and I've added all of them to my collection. This is actually Wolvie's piece here
That's awesome.
that he did. Yeah. So Jordan here. So I'm just going off the top of my head, off of who I do remember exactly. And then this was the other one. They're not sketch card size, but
Oh man. That's so good. That was Donnie, right?
yeah, Donnie did both of these.
Dude, Donnie's just His art's crazy, bro. I keep telling him, I'm like, bro, just remember me when you're famous, because like you got it.
Yeah, and what's cool about Donnie's piece, like he did like these little fingers going up her neck with the symbiote. I'm not sure if I'm getting it too good, but pretty
I can
cool,
see
man.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to all of them in the community doing stuff. And then I do have a couple. I want to point this out to any collector that's in the hobby. There are officially released cards on stock, and then there's aftermarket. And I'm going to show you the difference between the two. So this is an official release pack pull by Rich Heineman, sorry.
That's really
And
cool.
I collected this one like super early. Love the pastel work. This is from the Spider-Man Marvel set, and there's no difference between this one and if you were just to look at it and this one here. But this by Hugh Trong is a aftermarket piece. So there's nothing on here that identifies that this is an aftermarket. So you got to kind of do your research. That people have made um, lists out there for collectors to kind of go off of to see who is on the actual official release sets. So do your due diligence. Just because you see it's on official cardstock and there's nothing signifying like an AP on here, which is an artist proof card. And I'll show you that.
And you can find some of those lists too, like GTS and Beckett Collect are both great resources to find checklists from some of the more modern Upper Deck sets.
Yeah. So this is by Todd Beats, and this was his AP card set stock. So he's, on Whatnot, and these were the cards. These were the AP cards that were provided to him um, directly from Upper Deck.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I used, because, I'm a fan of Gwenum, David Diaz, who is a phenomenal artist, and his wife, Michelle Diaz, they do work overseas. Michelle is in the States, but David right now is overseas and in Brazil. So I shipped this out to Brazil. This is on the Midnight Suns card stock, but David knocked this request for a commission piece
So
out.
you shipped the actual blank Midnight Suns card to him?
I did.
Okay. And how did you get your hands on a blank?
So I went on eBay and just purchased it.
Yep.
Yeah, because you could get blank sketch card stock on eBay. They're very limited in supply now because APs are no longer a thing.
Sure.
So just keep your eye out on those. You can get some that are, pretty legit for a nice price. But if you're going with like the thicker sets, the premier sets, they're a little bit more expensive.
Sure.
And then I wanted to show off here. This is David Duke.
Oh, dude.
And this is another way to get a sketch card. So sometimes the sketch artists that are on top sets, Upper Deck sets, yeah, they do. So David Duke in particular, he does Whatnot streams. And what he does is no matter what the focus is for the day, so if he's doing like a Godzilla set or if he's doing like Ninja Turtles or something like that, he'll auction off a blank sketch card. And if you win the auction, you can just tell him, hey, I want a Gwenum on it. And then that's what I did. And he did this one live on Whatnot. And what's awesome about Duke is he does a preliminary card first.
Oh, that's so cool. So you get
And
the
then he'll give
prelim
you
and the
both.
full one. Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yep. And also, if you pull David Duke out of a pack, he's still doing this. He does this for all cards to include like top sets, Upper Deck sets. So if you reach out to him directly, you pull a David Duke card from a set, he'll send you the prelim.
That's really cool. So also, I'll drop some news for everybody. Haven't released this yet, but David Duke is going to be on the podcast this month.
Yes, he is.
So I'm super excited. Blake, you helped too with that. And yeah, I'm really pumped to have him on. I have 3 artists, actually, official Marvel artists that are coming on the show. And David's one of them. He'll be on the show at the end of this month.
So I bought, these are things to kind of look out for. And this, if you're in the collector realm, you'll find cards like these, right? So this is a Peach Momoko cover. This is this is from a I believe it's a Chinese overseas set. So these people are saying, be wary of, because you'll get a name on the back like Cherry or James, right? Did it. Like if you're a true artist, not saying a true artist, but if you're an artist that is doing a direct card that is from published piece, like something like this, like a Peach Momoko, normal artists are going to sign their whole name. They're not just going to say Tom, Jerry, whatever it may be. And also they would put in there in reference to or in homage to
Yes.
like Peach Momoko cover. So none of that is on the back of this. I just want to tell people in the collector realm, just be careful. Understand that if you just see like a one-off name that's on a set, or if it's in a different language, do Google Translate. Try to figure out what it says, because some of them it'll be like soap dish as a signature, and it's just a what they'll do is they'll project the card image on here, and they'll just trace and do a one over, and then you're not getting a true one of one original art piece from set
I will
or
say though
from
that
artist.
peach art though, just generally speaking, I love that cover.
Oh, absolutely. It's only like $1,000. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like the actual original piece.
Right.
Or right, you could seek out an original artist like I did here. And so Nina Artes is a artist from Brazil, and she does all this is acrylic.
Okay. That's very cool.
So you can go again, support the artist directly if they have cards made or whatever, and it's of your character of choice. Support those artists directly. And this is not a very expensive card, but again, I'm helping the artist directly, and it's a phenomenal card.
Yeah.
Very beautifully done, all acrylic, like I said. And these are two more. She did a Gwenum,
Wow.
and
She
again, all
crushed that.
acrylic. Yep. And then here is another one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so all in her style, and she did a phenomenal job on these, and she has her own little PSE stock. So,
That's really cool.
and then one last one from overseas is this is a Coco Outwell, and Coco
Whoa,
did.
dude. Look
Yeah,
at
this is a
that.
phenomenal piece, right?
And the fact that all of that detail is on a sketch card, man.
Yep.
Wow, that is impressive. It's just this massive background, and you've got Gwen's face in the background, like portrayed in multiple ways. I mean, it's just that's fantastic.
Yep, and both the full symbiote suit, and this is comic accurate, right? And then
Yep.
with the Gwen side. So I love this. I saw
That's
this.
awesome.
This was actually made before I had seen it, and then it popped up on YouTube. Oh, not YouTube. Sorry, I saw this on I saw this on his Facebook page, and I was going to commission his work, and then this was
Okay.
on there, and then I just was like, man, that is the card I want. Like I wanted this card, and then it just so happened to be on eBay, and I snagged it from him on eBay.
So cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
so
So like you've shown us a lot of examples of these different pieces. Is your main goal to just get a representation of Gwenum from these artists that you like, and if you really enjoy it, you just go back, or do you have more guidelines or criteria or a wider vision that you're trying to chase?
so I like the artist, right? So I have plans to work with Ash Gonzalez. I plan to get a piece from him. Tony Perna. I eventually want to get a Simone piece done. But right now, I have a lot of obligations out. I have one right now with Q Method. He
Nice.
was on a rendition set from Spider Man, and he just came out of nowhere and just killed it.
Yeah, he did.
And I saw his stuff. I was like, man, I got to get a piece from him. So I'm not doing a card with him. I'm doing a larger piece,
Okay.
about an 8x10, maybe a little bit bigger. But just to support him directly. He's in Mexico as well. And then like Pepe Valencia again. I just love his realistic style. I got a large Pepe piece from, and like an 8x10 as well from Pepe. Currently, I do want to go to OAX, but yeah, but
What you
I
do, Blake?
decided to I decided to go all out. So I'm gonna give you I want to give you a reference,
Okay.
okay,
All right.
of what. So I'm gonna flip my camera around one last time.
Okay.
All right. So here I showed this on Wolvies too. So this is my large Pepe piece of
Yeah.
Gwenum.
So good.
Yeah.
The
So
framing came out great
Pepe,
too.
oh, it came out great. I actually got that from a member in the community. He does
Very cool.
frames. So this here is the original. This is a print from Pepe Valencia. And I wish this was the original, but unfortunately that has been sold.
Wow.
But this
Holy
is the
crap.
original Gwen that I saw, and it just like blew me away. I saw it, I
Man,
was like,
that is
man, I
good.
gotta have it. So I hit him up as
I
soon as
haven't
I
seen
saw this,
that. Yeah, that is cool.
and he was like, yeah, that's sold.
Uh,
Yeah, and then Of course, like when you start to talk about this size of an image, you're starting to get up in dollar value wise because this is poster size, right? I believe this is a 19 by 28 or 29.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
Man, that is cool. That kind of reminds me of Vincenzo. I don't know if you're familiar with Vincenzo Riccardi, I think is his name.
oh yeah, absolutely, man.
It
Yep.
reminds me a little bit of that. Like definitely different, like definitely distinguished in its own way. But I'm a huge fan of Vincenzo. And I was trying to think I was like, what is it? And I just pulled up Instagram. I was like, yeah, that's Vincenzo. It's reminded me of.
Yeah, so I saw this piece, couldn't have it, so I said, "Hey, like I usually don't collect prints at all. Like I'm not a big print guy. I'm all
Yeah.
about the OA, but
Yeah.
hey, I want this. I want this print
Yeah.
because this is what the not
Like I need
only
to
the
look at
relationship.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So not only the relationship that I built with Pepe and like over this duration of time with getting original art pieces from him, because that's just one of the three if you count the sketch card that I have. But I knew eventually I was gonna commit to a large piece like this, and that has happened. So I am doing, he's because I have the rapport with him and we built up that trust between the two of us. I'm doing a payment with him plan because this is going to be a lot of money. And I'm going to do I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's going to be a sick one piece, as you guys could assume, and it's going to be relevant to the comic a little bit with the story of between her and Peter Parker, and it's going to be a great piece.
I can't wait to see it, man. That's exciting. Do you have any idea of when it'll be done?
We're not even going to start because hold on, let me put this. So he's booked right now until I believe January or February.
Okay.
So we're going to start then, but I'm already, once this government, the freeze right now on the government spending because we don't have the military right now is kind of frozen with paychecks. Once
Sucks.
that's lifted, 2 days later we'll get paid. This is the second time I've gone through a government shutdown. I am military.
Man.
So yeah, it's just something, it's a hurdle. So he understands that, like he's fully understanding. I'm not going to get it until they pass the budget. I'm not going to get a paycheck. So he's allowing me to kind of push that to the right, and then as soon as I get paid and all that stuff, catch everything back up. I'll continue on with my payments. So
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Well,
yeah,
hopefully it doesn't last too long, man. I'm sorry you're going through that, but
it's all good, brother.
that piece, bro, that is going to be something. Man.
Yeah, I
That's going to
can't
be
wait.
something.
Yeah, I'm like a little schoolboy right now, man, just excited.
Yeah, I bet.
And that's
I
the point.
bet.
See, like that's the point, man. Like you're getting a piece made by a phenomenal artist, and then you just you get that not anxiety, but you get that excitement, and I think that's what fuels the collective side of things is you're working and then you're creating these pieces with these artists, and then they become yours. Their original art pieces are yours. So
Is there any end in sight for you? Is it something you think you'll just do forever, or is there a certain point where you're going to be like, you know what, I'm good. The collection's where I want it to be.
we'll see when time tells. I've always collected things. Ever since I was a little kid, I started with football cards, things like that. I'm a huge 49ers fan, so I'm that, again, 80s baby. 49ers were massive when in the 80s. So I grew up as a Niners fan and collected, Jerry Rice cards, Joe Montana cards. I got Jerry Rice rookie cards, things like that. Still have those things. And then so yeah, I think they'll be forever pieces for me, especially with the relationships that I've built with these artists. But I know that like on your last episode, you need to let the hobby fund itself is what was a big topic for a lot of people. But it's kind of hard to let go of a piece that you made with a particular artist and truly with that relationship that you built up. So
Yeah. No, I get that. There's like for me, I kind of feel the same way. Like I think the hardest time even thinking about letting go something that was a direct commission because there's something special about that. When you get that, it's like, well, this was mine. It was made for me. I'm not selling it. Like it's mine.
yep,
It's a very different feeling than just like, I mean, I really enjoy like all these cards I showed off, like this out of 60 Scarlet Witch. But if I needed to sell it, I could, and I can always pick up another at some point in time. There's just something really special about these commissioned pieces. So it's that's really cool.
and they're all true one of ones. You know what I mean? Like they are one of ones.
Yeah, and I know for me, like, and it's funny, it took me a long time to realize this because I was always focused on the utility and playability side of cards. I was on the gaming side where cards served an actual purpose where I would use them to do something with, right? But it was funny because it's like I played a lot of different TCGs and things. And when I had the means to, I'd always want to like max rarity my deck. But for me, the max rarity wasn't the most expensive, it was the best looking art. Every time, like I always wanted the best art that I thought was the coolest art of that card, and I wanted 4 of it in my deck, and I wanted the like borderless textured foil version every time. And as time went on, I realized I was like, man, me and these other players who are building our decks like this, we're also collecting art. And it took me a really long time to realize that. And then when I stopped playing and I started focusing on cards I wanted to keep and collect, it really started to click for me. I was like, man, like it's the art that I'm chasing. And then one thing led to another. And all of a sudden, now I'm like trying to get commissions and original art pieces and things like that. It's just this like trajectory and path journey that we follow. And I don't know, I just keep winding up on the art. It's just so special and unique. So definitely agree with
Yeah,
what you're saying.
I would recommend too, if you're nervous about reaching out for direct commissions with artists, talk to people like myself, or somebody that that's in like the commissioning realm of things. If you've seen pieces from someone like me, that I've dealt directly with someone that you like or enjoy, and I could possibly reach out on your behalf for you, that's fine. Or yeah, like the hard to reach ones, like the big names like Perillo or something like that, you have to understand they're in high demand. They're going to every Comic
Right.
Con
Yep.
convention. They're doing published cover pieces, like Peach Momoko or something like that. So the only way you're going to truly land one of them is if you do go to the cons, and you're lucky enough to land a spot on their list. That's why I think that, again, going back to Kazra and everything that they've
I
done
was
with
just gonna say
OAX,
OAX, man.
dude, I'm telling you, man. If I go there, I might bankrupt myself, but but yeah, my wife won't let that happen. But yeah, man, it's just that they have given us as the collector a very unique opportunity to go meet these masterclass artists that have been in the field of the art community for doing published pieces for a very long time, and do get a one-on-one meet and greet. It was very personal, from what I understand from a bunch of people early on. But as you know, as these cons grow, these Comic Cons or art cons or whatever you may say, whatever you attend, they grow in size. As you found out when you went up to Richmond at your most recent
Yep.
con,
Yep.
you didn't have the best experience there because it was beyond the scope of their capability of control. It was a little bit
Yep.
too crowded.
And of course,
So
I'm gonna go back. So
yeah, yeah, right. Yeah,
they still got me hooked. But you do these conventions, whether you're going to ones like OAX, where they're really community focused and the people behind it are going above and beyond to deliver this incredible experience to the community, or you get to the ones that are a little more, how do I put it, like corporate focused, where they're starting to lose that connection, I think, with the community because it's just grown so massive. It's hard to keep that touch, I guess. But you get these opportunities, right, to meet these people. And like for me, art's one part of my collection. Another part of my collection is I love to get signed cards. And some of these Galaxy Cons, Comic Cons, and things like that, that's the only way you're ever going to get some of these people to put their signature on your piece, your Funko Pop, your card, whatever it is. So as much as sometimes it can be painful, sometimes it's like a necessary evil. You got to go, you got to wait in the lines, you got to deal with the chaos and the crowds. But I think OAX I'm really excited for because it's the opposite of a lot of those are. So it takes all the things I don't like away, it keeps all the things I like, and then it gives a whole lot more. So
yeah.
cool, man. Well, I think this is probably a good place to start wrapping up. Unless, are there any other tips or things you wanted to get into about your collection or just commissioning in general?
Well, just be patient. Again, just be patient. You're reaching out to these artists because you like their work, and don't try to barter with them. If they tell you that's their price, right? Because
Yeah.
again, you went to them for the piece. If you see something like a bargain that pops up on their site or wherever they sell their work, like, hey, grab, jump on it, grab it, whatever you want. But again, you went to them. Now, if an artist, say like an artist that's starting out, you get a little bit more known in the community for commissioning artists. If a young artist comes to you directly, that's the time when you could say, "Hey, man, look, you came to me." That's Don't be, an idiot or someone that's off-putting, but just be like, "Hey, if you want me to buy from you, let's discuss this." But if you're going truly seeking out an artist that you desire or that you want, their rate is their rate again, and then be patient. A lot of these people have a long list of people in line to get an original piece made from them.
Yeah, that's great advice. And it's funny because that advice rings true, I think, really in whatever part of the hobby you're in, right? It's like be patient. That's something that isn't talked about enough. So many people get the FOMO and they make decisions that they probably shouldn't. We've all been there, right? But it's funny because it's really sound advice that I hope people listen to. It's not a race, and the more you are patient, the more you could tax yourself and try to do everything right now and get all the things that are currently available. But man, when you're patient, some of the opportunities that arise, it's crazy what will pop up if you just stay in the game.
I mean, you're true to that, right? You got that Bella Vision Wanda piece from somebody. I don't know. They
Yeah.
might have hit you up. Somebody hit you up and said, "Hey, did you see this?"
That was indeed you, sir. Yeah, no, I had saw it, and then Blake was like, "Man, are you gonna get that piece by Bella?" And then he sent it to me. I was like, "I probably should. I probably should." And yeah, man, you gave me the nudge I needed. Now, so happy I did. I mean, it was the right choice. For sure, as I look at it on my wall right here in front of me. But
It's a phenomenal piece, man. It
it's
is
so good.
absolutely a phenomenal piece. I was going back and forth. With my wife, I said, "I don't collect Scarlet Witch, man, but man, that is a beautiful piece." And I was like, you know what? Let me hit up my buddy and tell him about it because it would be better suited in his collection than me just grabbing a piece.
Well, I'm very thankful you did because
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
that was a huge pickup for now. I mean, it's really a centerpiece of my collection. So, and Bella's going to OAX, by the way. Very
Yes, he
excited.
is.
I've already hit her up. I'm really hoping that she'll have some capacity for commissions because I may try and get something from her, but we'll see. All right, sir. I want to go to my rapid fire question round for you. Just I ask a question, answer whatever pops in your head first. We're kicking it
Okay.
off with you have to venomize any Marvel character besides Gwen. Who gets slime next?
Psylocke.
Psylocke. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now, who would be a Marvel character you collect if not Gwen? Would it be Psylocke or someone else?
It would probably be Magic. So I have one piece that is not a Gwenum piece in my collection when I first started doing it early on, and it's this
Wow,
Magic
that's awesome.
piece. Yeah, and it's by a Ukrainian artist. So this might go out because it doesn't match my set, right? Like it doesn't match
Right.
what I'm collecting anymore. But if I had to, yeah, she's just got such a good story behind her. Again, it goes back to that. And then Justin's a huge fan. Justin doesn't collect anything like that, but he collects more of the card based stuff. So that might become available. But I loved it, and it just doesn't go with my set at all anymore. So,
Yeah.
and it wasn't a personal commission; it was one that I found online.
Okay. Gotcha. What is your favorite cardstock to have sketches done on?
Again, I like PSEs because I like to support the artist directly. So that's it.
Love that. Okay. Would you rather have full color or black and white?
Depends on the artist.
Okay.
So the reason why I say that, you can grab somebody like Michelle Diaz, right? I talked about David Diaz, his color work, amazing. Michelle's black and white, amazing. She has been killing it recently. I've been following her for a while, and she's doing more comic cover based artwork. And I'm not a big collector of that, where they do the original art on the covers, on blank covers. I like to have it in the format that you've seen here, but yeah, she does phenomenal portrait, like black and white style.
Who is a dream artist that you have not gotten something from yet that you would want to get a Gwenum piece of?
Perillo would be top, or I actually wrote it down because I knew you were going to ask this because you asked me before.
You're like,
Uh,
I already knew.
yeah, Dan Quintana, man. Oh my, yeah, he would be definitely up there. Yeah.
I asked this one last week, but I liked it. I'll ask it again. Who's the most overrated Marvel character?
Man, that's a hard one. I don't know. I would have to say I don't think there's really anyone that is over like Onslaught. I'll say that.
Onslaught. Okay. All right. I was hoping there'd be like a big collector that you call out here. We could get some drama
Nah,
going,
I
but
can't do that.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last one. You can only have one medium. So like sketch cards or a certain size piece. What size piece would you pick for your collection, or what type?
I think 8 by 10, honestly, because it's perfect size to put in a frame. and you can display it perfectly, or you can put it inside of like a folder or binder.
Cool, man. All right. Well, you survived rapid fire. Great job. We're going to wrap it up with some listener questions.
Lumpkins letters.
All right. So our buddy Jordan wants to know, what is your favorite memory that is connected to Marvel or just the hobby in general?
I used to go. My longtime friend, who's no longer with us, he passed away. We used to go when we were younger kids. We used to run up to the like local comic shop, and we would grab comics when we were little. My buddy Daniel.
That's awesome, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but that's a memory I'm sure you'll cherish.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I have a question for you. My question is, what is the first piece that you ever commissioned?
It was actually a Veronica. No, it was actually this piece here. So, and again, I messed up. So this is also on that commissioning. When you're going to commission an artist, especially overseas, make sure you make it known. Like it's kind of hard because you have a language barrier. But I gave him references, and he did all the references. Not this isn't a knock on Giovanni Sima, but he is an Italian artist, and I picked this one up first, and this was online on like eBay.
Okay.
And I was
Okay.
like, ooh, let me see if he does commissions. And I hit him up and he did commissions. And I had a whole commission set. So let me swap this around so you can see it a little bit better.
Oh boy.
So I did like a set. So he did all the references, but this was just to show, hey, I like to see her face with, getting absorbed. And it's on me. Again, this is no knock to the artist at all, but he did the actual references that I had sent.
Oh wow.
So again, shame on me, not the artist, because this is like from a model. But yeah, this is shame on me, and it was kind of hard to because of that language barrier. Again, these were just images. I was like, hey, you can still see her face while you see the symbiote suit, but it wasn't interpreted that way. But those were the first ones I commissioned.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's funny. And I'm just curious, what made you want to actually start commissioning? Because it sounds like you had a deeper history with collecting with the sports cards, like football cards, stuff like that. What kind of led you into the whole commissioning Marvel art?
So I've always loved art. I actually did art a lot when I was younger. It kind of disconnected when I joined the military because I had kid, wife, so was deployed a lot. So I stopped doing it. And what's funny is you'll kind of recognize the characters that I used to do
Okay.
when I was in high school. Um,
Oh, I know where this
Dating
is
myself
going.
here.
Okay.
So yeah, I did a lot of Dragon Ball stuff.
Nice. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so that's Boo. Yeah. And I drew all these when I was younger.
Wow, man.
This is
I didn't know
VV.
you. I didn't know you were an artist as well. Dude, that's
Yeah,
really good.
yes, VV from Final Fantasy. Um,
Hell yeah. That's
Final
awesome.
Fantasy 9. Yeah, and then I did. This is a guy from Akira, the clown guy from Akira.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I did all these things. Yeah, when I was super young. Well,
That's cool.
younger. I'm old now. Did Piccolo.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah, so little Trunks action here for you.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
like that's an iconic Trunks pose too.
Yep. So that's when I was like 18, 17 years old. Now I'm 45. Some time has lapsed.
I love that you still have them though, bro. That's really cool. I'm almost done paying it off. I have a big Dragon Ball piece coming, original art from the show.
Sick.
I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but it's definitely, I would say, the biggest piece of animation art I've gotten so far. So I saw
So is
it,
this the
jumped
actual
on it.
published animation, or is this Edon's piece that you were talking
No, this isn't Edon's piece. So I did commission Edon. He's doing a cool piece for me that mashes up two characters. This is original production used animation art.
Awesome.
It's a Genga. So the Genga is your keyframe shot. That's like the original sketch that they used to eventually, animate the show. But I prefer personally to chase Genga because I feel like you get the most, and everyone has a different opinion on this, which is really cool because there's a lot of different ways to collect. There's no right or wrong way. So I'm not saying this like, oh, this is the best way. Just what I prefer. I think Genga, you get the most true to form artist vision of how that shot should look. Duga is like the more refined image that you're actually going to see on the show. but I just love Genga because it's like before anyone else got to touch it or correct it, this is that artist's vision of how they wanted this character to look. So yeah, it's a really cool Genga coming. So I'm excited.
Awesome. I do want to give one more shout out, another avenue for people to get really good sketch cards or art pieces that is
Yeah.
coming up in the near future is MentalCon. I
Yes.
know it's been discussed
Please.
before on here,
Yep.
but they have a ton of artists that are coming up that are going to be on that. And I was able to connect the MentalCon crew with, I think, 6 artists.
Nice.
Like Michelle
So
Diaz,
cool.
David Duke, Veronica O'Connell, Pepe Valencia. All these people have opted into, do pieces for the MentalCon initiative. So I'm not sure if they picked a person or theme yet, or for the purpose behind the fundraising event this year. But that is another avenue. They're going to have it on a website. It's going to be bidding, and then all proceeds go to whatever initiative that they decide to do. So
Yeah, and they're great. I picked up a sketch at the last event. I'm sure I'll pick one up at the next event, and it's for a great cause. And like you said, man, there's phenomenal art that these artists are doing for just such a good cause. So yeah, definitely shout out to Nathan, man. Support MentalCon. I think they have their own Instagram page, and then you can also follow Nathan at True Blue Collectibles, where he'll post all the updates as they come around. So definitely be on the lookout for that. That's a great tip. All right, well, Blake, dude, anything else you want to do before we close this thing out?
I appreciate you for having me on. Yeah, thank you for that. I love to give any insight. If you have any questions about, doing commission pieces, again, like if you're not comfortable, you can always reach out. If I know the artist, if I don't know the artist, I'm still pretty comfortable reaching out to people. Just be realistic in your expectations. Don't bankrupt yourself. This is a hobby. This isn't life, right? So this is just a hobby. At the end of the day, don't go above and beyond your means. That's also another recommendation forward. But yeah, if you really love collecting things and you like the little one-offs or one-on-ones and all that stuff, hey, commissioning art is not only does it get personalized for you because it's a piece that you've requested, but it's a true one-of-one and it supports your favorite artist direct. So
Very well said, my friend. Well, dude, thank you for coming on the show. I was really excited you wanted to come on. You've helped me a lot. Obviously, we got the Bella piece, but in many different ways. So, anyways, man, you're a great friend. I appreciate you coming on the show. Hopefully, I can get you back on sometime.
absolutely.
Right now, actually, this is kind of fun. I should start releasing like a schedule of guests coming on, but I'm booked up now for 2025. So I'm starting to book for 2026 for the show. So lots of big things coming. I definitely want to get you back on to talk more. Maybe when you get that big piece.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead and schedule me on for next year, man.
That's
if you're
right.
booked out till 2025.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. All right. Cool. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for listening. If you all have made it this far, I would really appreciate it if you gave the show a rating and review. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment. It would really, really mean a lot. But yeah, that's all I've got for everybody. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.